Well, hello, my fellow entrepreneurs. It's Mark Little here, Diversified Funding Services. And as you can see by the title, multiple MCAs. Is that you? Did it catch your attention? If so, you need to spend some time with me here and let's talk. I've been around this business for 27 years and I've watched the inception of MCAs. And again, I want to say everything does have its place and purpose. But sometimes things are abused, misused, and we get away from common sense and using the old adage of it's all about moderation. But really, there's some things that are broken if you have more than one. So if you're not looking forward to this week, you're stressing out about having to keep up with the pressures of repaying those advances. Trust me, we've seen companies that have taken out more than eight. That's an issue. That's a situation, and it must be talked about. It must be addressed. And we're here to provide some solutions. We're here to give you common sense approach, discuss some fundamentals. So sit back with me, spend some time, and let's go through this topic. It's very important. It needs to be addressed. So let's go. All right, let's take a deep breath and let's just sit here and let's walk through a few things. Are you literally drowning in cash flow issues? B2B, product, service, invoice, waiting for payment. Business could be good, business could be booming, but far too often a lot of businesses drown off their own growth. Those working capital pressures are true, they're real, right? Trying to find, the best working capital to relieve that. Sometimes the bank's not there when you thought they would be. Maybe you don't understand how it all works out here in the commercial finance world. Factoring, what is that? It's accounts receivable financing. MCAs, you can, have a breath and provide your bank statements and we can give you money within 24 hours. Sounds easy, sounds good. It does work that quickly a lot of times. And sometimes it's a good thing. It just helps you get over that hump. Maybe it helps you get some materials that you need very quickly to take on a job that fell into your lap that you've been working hard to get. Uh, Lots of legit reasons to take one out. But to take out two, three, four, come on, man, something's wrong, something's broken, right? That's what leads the conversation to I want people to really understand and start paying attention to the basic fundamentals of business, the pulse of business. And when you're in B2B and you're providing your products and your services and the product's been delivered, the service has been rendered, it's part of business that you invoice on terms, that you have that 30-day, 45, 60-day term. The bigger the company or the customer that you're after, sometimes it presses pretty hard to close to the 60 days. So how do you manage that? How do you survive that uh, cash flow issue when you've put all the energy and efforts into fulfilling that job and you've got to wait 60 days from one business owner to the other? It's a lot. It's a lot of pressure. It really is. Sometimes you question yourself and wonder, what in the world am I doing? Right? Maybe you don't have money management basic skills. It's okay. A lot of people have their strengths and their weaknesses. We all do in life. But so many business owners just, get the ambitious attitude of wanting to go, march to the beat of your own drum. Like I've said before, massively impacted my life when I was very young, when my dad decided to go in business for himself. And he said the words, if I can make it for another man, I can make it for myself. I get that. That rings true in my heart. I'm 60 years old and I've been walking to the beat of my own drum ever since then. Has it been easy? No way. No, it hasn't. There's been so many things that have happened that's been out of my control. We all have things that happen that are out of our control in business and in life in general. And it's like, how do you remedy that? How do you handle that? The decisions that we make, those decisions have massive consequences. They really do. And I have seen this happen over and over and over again, to where maybe we'll have a customer come along and they maybe heard about factoring, or maybe they're already factoring, but there's something broken there, and they find themselves with 2, 3, 4 plus MCAs. And it's a nightmare. It's stressful. I've had business owners crying, freaking out, desperate. Got to make payroll this week, and I don't know how I'm going to do it. It's insanity. And you sit there and you scratch your head and you go, man, let's just talk. Let's just discuss what's going on with your business. And sometimes it's very intimate, talking about finances, talking about your business and the things that you do and how you run your business. It's vulnerable, talking about capital, talking about money. We've seen a lot of businesses that are really crushing it, doing a fantastic job with sales. And you're just like, man, from the outside looking in, this is incredible. Congratulations. That's the hardest part, is getting those sales, right? Getting those orders. But man, it just falls apart because of making the wrong decisions. And I'm going to tell you, these MCA advanced companies, they make it easy. But I want you to think about something. When you have a business model that you can sit there and you know that the revenue opportunity is so strong that you literally have in part of your pro forma that we can write off X number of accounts that go bad, because many of them will, but we still make money with this many. It is insane to sit here and watch what people are putting themselves through. And I sit here and I look at just the common sense approach to B2B business and invoicing, and it gets back to the fundamentals. And I'll use this example over and over and over. No matter how cheesy it may sound, it's true. And I think it's because of my years bodybuilding and the discipline that took, and understanding how much effort and energy that's required. And it's such a long-term process before you really see results. And the gym represents your business. You're going in there and you're working out. But what do you do outside of that? That's your AR. Like a diet is to someone working out. If you're not eating properly and you don't have proper nutrition, then you are having bad results in the gym, because you're not giving your body the nutrition it needs to heal from that hard work. Same thing with your receivables. If you're not properly managing your receivables and doing the things that needs to be done to make sure they turn in a timely manner, it's going to affect the results. And you're going to feel that. And you're going to get backed into a corner. You're going to find yourself drowning on your own growth. And you're like, what do I do about this? Maybe you go to the bank, like I said, but you can't jump through the hoops that's being asked of you. Maybe you haven't been in business long enough. Maybe you've got some credit issues, because as entrepreneurs, sometimes that gets affected because we're pouring our life into trying to grow our company. But for whatever reason, you don't qualify for that bank loan or line or the SBA. Excuse me. Maybe you're not aware of factoring or the proper use of it and what all that means, of how you can use your own accounts receivable to fuel your own business without debt. And then you've got the marketing and the in your face all the time of something that seems too good to be true, that you can get money within 24 to 48 hours. And it's based off of your bank statements. And they look at the history of your sales. And if that matches their appetite, they will advance you funds. And it's based off you continuing those consistent sales that you've had in the past. So it's going off the assumption that things are going to keep flowing properly to repay that. Sometimes it's taken out daily, sometimes it's weekly, that they're coming in and grabbing your cash out of your account to repay those advances. And then you get in another pickle. There's another situation that you're facing another shortfall, and you don't know what to do. You don't know where to turn. but there's someone else that's saying, hey, I'll give you another one as long as those numbers match our appetite. Then you've got two. Then you're chasing your tail. Then it begins. Then you're literally, the quality of your life is massively being affected, your personal life. We all have our lives, right? We all have our homes, our marriages, our kids, our relationships, trying to be the best people that we can outside of work. It affects you professionally. It's a very serious situation. I'm not trying to sound overly dramatic here. I've just seen it too much. And we just sit back and go, gosh, this doesn't have to be that way. You almost have to look at, what are you going to invest into to make your business run more efficiently? It's the cost of doing business. It's really realizing that you've got to have certain things in place, those foundational cornerstones to have a successful business. And a lot of that, it begins at the basics. It begins at the fundamentals of managing your AR. Do you have a system in place, a protocol in place of how you do submit your invoices? How do you do that? Do you do it consistently? Do you do it the day of that product delivered or service rendered? Do you call your customers as a customer service call to make sure that that invoice is being accepted? There's no issues, complaints. There's not a missing signature on a PO, whatever it may be. Do you have a follow-up process in place that goes above and beyond automation? Automation is there for convenience. It's efficient. It needs to be done, but it needs to be taken a step further than that a lot of times. Do you have an adequate relationship in place that you've built with your customers' payable department? Getting to know them, getting to invest into understanding who they are. So when you need to have that invoice collected, you can make that phone call and they know who you are. That's what we've done as factoring providers. That's all we do is AR, right? We've heard things in the past like, ooh, factoring. I don't want anybody calling my customers. They may think I'm in trouble. All this misinformed way of looking at it, to where when it's done properly, it's no different than you hiring someone to come work for your company to call your customers to make sure the invoice is valid. There's no complaints, there's no issues. It's put into the system to be paid on the terms agreed upon. And then you have that person that is following up in a timely manner when the invoices are getting close to being due. It's common sense. It's the basic flow of it. So my suggestion is, invest into doing that. Hire someone to come in and pay them for what they're worth. Don't just pay somebody that doesn't know what they're doing, $500 or $1,000 a month just so you can say you're doing it. Have someone that knows and knows what they're doing. Outsource it. That's what we're here for. Let's talk. Let's discuss your AR practices and what you have in place, what you may need in place, and get you a proposal out to where you can start managing your receivables the way they should be managed from the beginning. Let's get that pulse down. Let's get the consistent heartbeat so you can understand how your cash flow is flowing efficiently, and then decide what's the best financial product from that point forward. If you're in a situation, obviously, that's what the topic is here of this, is if you've got yourself in a situation, you're freaking out, you're struggling with payroll, it's going to come up again this Friday and you're going to freak out again. Matter of fact, you got an anxiety attack just having this conversation that we're having through this video camera. You're facing it. You don't know what you're going to do about it, and you're hoping that a couple of payments will come in or something. Some of you are in the process of opening a brand new checking account so you can get away from having those repayment coming out of your account. You're trying to dodge and get around it. It's a mess. It really is. You've got legal issues now that you're facing. You've got too many people after the same asset. And it doesn't have to be that way. Maybe factoring can be a solution to get you out of this if you're not too far gone. If you're already factoring and you've done it, then you're dealing with those issues now anyway. But there's got to be a meeting of the minds. There's got to be a time in your life to where you go, okay, this makes sense. I've got to do something about it. If you're on the verge of maybe taking out your first, maybe we need to talk and make sure you're making the right decisions. Again, full circle, let's start at the basics. Let's start with the fundamentals, and let's go over your AR collection process, the way you invoice, the way you follow up, and how are they turning. So anyway, that was a lot, right? But it's all real. It's all true. Kind of wrote a blog here. So if you want to go and read the blog about this to kind of give you a textual way of overviewing what we discussed here, go check it out. But anyway, I'm Mark, Diversified Funding Services. I encourage you to stay strong, stay focused. And if you find yourself in this situation, give me a call. And let's see if we can't provide you a proposal to help come in and efficiently manage your AR and get your business up and running like it should be, and you can enjoy the fruits of your hard labor. Until next time, I'm Mark, Diversified Funding Services. Catch you on the next episode.